I send the link in chat, and then I guess Mike can start with some the testing.
Yeah, I actually want us to do it differently.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I want probably I would like us to do like a more collaborative kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
such that it's either we use VS Code or maybe we use CyberDojo, the link that I shared last time. So the beauty of this will be we can take turns in someone writing the test, someone else making the test pass, and that way probably yeah, or I don't know if everyone just wants to watch me do and fail. Yeah,
Especially fail.
Especially
That
fail.
would be
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. So guys,
um,
just before I leave you, thank you for streaming this today. It's the Work the Web Saturday session. For those who are new to this, Mike and Anya, who are the teaching assistants or community, uh, you know, organizers here, will take a lead on this one. I will try to rejoin you guys in just in a while, especially hopefully for the discussion that we will have later on at the end of this stream about the project that we will be doing. I look forward to do that,
Hmm.
to hear more about that. Uh, but as we said in the pre meeting, repetition is the mother of all learning, as we often say. And I think that the topic that we covered last time, which was testing in both uh, JavaScript world and Ruby, it's worth repeating. So hopefully Mike and Anya will and you guys together can go through that kata again, the Fizzbuzz kata, and play around with this a little bit and see if you can get any smarter. Uh, so that would be my contribution to the stream today and to the meeting. And I wish you a happy coding session, people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
yeah.
I see you a bit
Thanks,
later.
Thomas.
All right.
Yeah,
Cheers.
join earlier if you can.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm just trying to create a cyber dojo um,
Okay.
exercise, and yeah, one good thing with cyber dojo is that we can choose the programming language that we want, and we can choose the testing framework that we want to use.
We can choose.
So
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
I think let me just share my
Can you?
screen.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you share your screen, that would be ideal.
So if we use CyberDojo, we'll just
Yeah,
use one programming language, or can we even choose both?
yeah, we can choose both. Uh, we, yeah, we can do whatever we
Cool.
want.
Let's try it out.
We are in control of our own destiny.
Are we though? Okay.
Yeah. So this is the idea of the exercise. So
Uh-huh.
probably I just want to share this one here. Sorry, my voice may be a little, yeah, I'm a little under the weather. So yeah.
Talking about voice, Anya, you looked at the video again, right? Did you hear my chipmunk voice? Was it there?
Oh, I didn't look at the video again. I mean, I heard it live. I mean, I looked at the video again, but not up until this point.
Uh, I
But
looked at it also, but
yeah,
like wasn't paying attention the whole time and I missed it.
Uh,
I can try and kind of
Uh,
if I
okay, I was
because
just wondering.
I will go through the video again in full, so I can definitely mark the time if you want.
Oh yes, please.
It was pretty fun, yeah. Da, da,
yeah,
da.
I don't know. Things must have changed here. They want me to select an avatar.
So enter
Come
group as new avatar. Oh, okay. The alligator.
let me just see.
Sure.
Yeah. So first of all, just the user interface of CyberDojo. it has like the so CyberDojo has a built-in version control, and then each test you run creates a new traffic light. You have red. Red is when the test fails. Amber is when there's an error in the test, probably something broke, and then green is when all the tests pass. When you like when we want to switch users, probably we'll have to how do I call it? Uh, run the test. Then the next person that refreshes their screen is able to just get whatever we just did. So yeah, I'm just going to do that. So here they have an example. We are going to do the fizz as one, so program that prints the numbers from 1 to 100. For multiples of 3, print fizz instead of the number. For multiples of 5, print bars. Multiples of both 3 and 5, print fizz bars. So you'll be like 1, 2, fizz, da 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 da. And what we want to do is, yeah, one good thing also, you can predict if the test is going to pass or if test is going to fail. You come here, you say red, and then this thing changed since I last was here. Fail to save. Yes, so please refresh your browser to resync. Okay. Huh. So where do I choose the programming language? I need to choose. Probably need to choose. Sorry, I'm guessing. So.
Okay.
Because this is a shell script, I think. I don't want shell. I want RSpec. And if I go back home, we are in a group. Create a new group exercise. We want the fizzbuzz problem. Where is it? Fizzbuzz. Yes, next. Oh yeah, I think I chose assembly language. That's why.
Okay.
So yeah, so probably we want to choose Ruby RSpec, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Then we confirm that. I don't know what they want me to do. Existing one. And then I just say okay.
The lion.
And the lion. Yeah. Raw. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to share this link.
Mm-hmm.
So again, probably I can share it on Twitch as well. I don't know if I maybe you can share it for us, Enya. Like even the Twitchers can.
You mean what? You mean in the chat, in the stream.
In the chat, yeah, in the stream.
Wait, I'm confused
So
with all this stuff.
here.
Yep.
So here we have like these two files. Like in HikerSpec, this is where we are going to be writing our tests, and in Hiker, this is where we are going to be making it pass. So I think Hiker, they just say that the starting files are unrelated to the exercise, they simply show the syntax for writing and testing, for writing and testing. So a global function, an instance variable, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And we pick the style that we want. So probably we'll just use a class or use a function. I don't know. I don't know. We'll just choose. And then here we can choose to we can choose to write our own stuff. But just to test, we just run the tests and see. So yeah, in this case, the hiker thing is failing. But in our exercise, in our README, we don't care about the hiker. Probably what we want to do is here they have defined global answer 6, then it returns 6 by 9. So that should be 54. So in the hiker spec, instead of equal 42, probably we should make it 54, right? And
Mm-hmm.
here also should be 54. And then I need to predict. And
Just
when I predict, I say it's going to be green.
so so
Yeah,
actually we all have I know. So when we share the link, what does it do? Just I'm not very familiar with no, okay. So if I refresh, your changes are in my Cyber Dojo as well. Okay. All good. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, yes, yes, yes. So what we do is like probably we want the case where maybe I write the code and then I write the test, then you make the test pass. Or we do the in pair programming they call it, or mob programming, they will call it driver and so there's a driver and then the other one is
Navigator.
the navigator. Yeah. So there's the guy who navigates. You tell me what to do and I write it down, and
Mm-hmm.
then when my time is up, we just switch and switch and switch and switch and switch, and
Okay.
everyone gets to participate in writing the code. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so probably we can try. Normally, I don't know how we are going to manage the time. Maybe we'll have a timekeeper, and in the README, I can just maybe uh, peop- people who want to like participate, maybe we can just write our names, maybe Mike, Carl, Enya, Pedro. I don't know who else is in the stream. Chima?
I
Is
think
Shima?
I
Did Shima join?
opened the first link, but we should be now using the last code CyberDojo link, or
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Mm. We have Jay, and who else is on the stream and wants to participate? Uh,
Yeah, I think we're only five, I think.
only 5. Okay.
Oh, no, wait,
So
six.
probably
Yeah, but there's two of you, Mike, so so okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So probably it starts with me probably being the navigator
Mm-hmm.
and Carl being the driver. And then once our time is up, it switches. Now Carl becomes the navigator and Enya becomes the driver. Then Pedro becomes the driver, Enya becomes the navigator. And yeah, so we just do like a round robin kind of thing.
Okay.
Um, uh, yeah, so that we just get to participate, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Good?
Okay, I'm still confused, but let's just try and then we'll see.
Okay, sure. So, Carl, probably you want to share your screen and then be the navigator, or you're still eating.
He's back in a
Uh,
minute. Um,
maybe you can switch and I be the driver as you navigate,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then Carl is the navigator. And yeah, so um yeah, probably the first thing we want to do, I don't know if you're just going to reuse the hiker and hiker rb and hiker spec files,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or we are going to rename them to fizzbars. It doesn't matter really, uh, but for the reliability of it, probably we should.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that means just coming here and creating a new file and calling it probably uh, fizzbars spec .rb, and then we can maybe just copy what's here and have it here. Of course, we won't be we will be importing fizzbars file, and we will be describing fizzbars, and maybe just deleting this. Probably coverage is here, da da da. So describe, sorry, maybe context of fees, and then do, and so I think I'm even going too far. Like right now, if we run this test, it should fail, right? Because right now we don't have, we are requiring like this file, we are requiring relative for this file, fizzbuzz.rb, and yet we don't have that file yet. So right now, if I run this file, it's going to fail. uh, I can guess,
Carl.
and yeah, it was Amber. Yeah, Carl, actually you should be the guy navigating, so I should not be talking. uh,
Sorry, what were you saying?
so I was trying that we do this sort of navigator driver kind of thing, and I noticed you are eating, so I think we switched so that you be the driver, you be the navigator and I be the driver.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're just doing this test, the fizzbuzz thing, and what we want to do is to do it the TDD way.
Did you say the dirty way?
I said TDD.
Ah, TDD. Sorry, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
I'll be watching you and I'll just be talking, right? And you coding.
yes, yes, you just tell me what to do. So just tell me what to do, then I do it.
So which file
Like
has I guess coverage RB has the RSpec test, or which file has the RSpec test?
uh fizzbuzz spec.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so I see you've done require relative for fizzbuzz.
Yeah.
Okay, so about the tests.
Yeah. You want me to run the test?
So No, I mean, I think you
Okay.
did that, didn't you already? The way it is now.
Yes, yes, I did that, and it's a yellow,
So
and
I'm trying to remember what the command was. Some to load the FizzBuzz class, we had something like. Okay, sorry. Oh,
this,
you ran the test and it's yellow.
yeah. So I can run the test again, so we can make the test lead us.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Just a question, Mike. I think
Yeah.
Kima is trying to enter the Google Meet, but I don't see how I could allow him. Do we even?
Yeah.
I'm not very used to
Probably.
Google
Maybe
Meet.
Thomas has to make someone host.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think I can drop out and join back with my Agile Ventures account.
Ah, okay, good.
I think I joined with my. Okay, let me just do that.
Um,
So
yes,
should
big,
we
big.
continue?
What?
Sorry,
I
should we
guess
continue?
we should maybe or like he was sharing his browser, so it would be good to see something actually. Uh, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we're live, Will Raz, and yeah.
Hmm.
Unless you want to share, and I don't know. I'm still a bit confused with the method, but yeah, driver navigator. I think I more or less got it, but I'm still not very familiar with Ruby. So um, okay, awesome.
I'm not familiar with Cyber Dojo.
Yeah, I'm just confused all over the place. I'm not familiar with CyberDojo, not with Ruby, not with testing.
So I've done the driver navigator before, but I did differently to Mike. We did it that like the driver actually is coding
Mm-hmm.
and it explains what they thought is, and the navigator was just basically looking over it and thinking about the end goal. So
Mm-hmm.
and they'd catch errors. They'd like catch typing typos,
Mm.
spelling mistakes, or make suggestions.
Okay.
And then we used to do it that we well, it was a bigger, I guess, a bigger example than FizzBuzz, and we change after 15 minutes. For something like this, I've also experienced that one person writes a code. I mean, sorry, one person writes a test,
Mm-hmm.
then you switch. The next person writes the the implementation
Mm-hmm.
to get that test passing. Then they write the next test. And then you switch again. But I've only done this with two people. Yeah, now it's like mob programming today. That's new to me, mob programming.
Um, just a question. So is that like because I've never done pair programming, so is that what you would call then pair programming, or is it just something different?
So there's different ways to do pair programming, and the driver navigator way is one way to split it up.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
It's a suggested way, but it's not like the way. There's different ways to pair.
Mm-hmm.
Some companies I know they have pairing stations where they have a computer with two screens but only one keyboard and mouse, and then two
Okay,
employees would sit there together and pair.
sounds like the Brazilian way. A couple of people to do the same task.
Well, it's the one thing that can happen when you're pairing is that someone might take over, like just be like, yeah,
Mm,
just let me take the keyboard or start typing. So if we're using VS Code and two people were in the same editor, and if both people were typing at the same time, it could cause problems.
mm-hmm.
That's why I've heard of some companies having workstations with just one keyboard for
Interesting.
pairing. But I
Okay.
haven't experienced it. Basically mainly experienced it during the CS169 course and during my boot camp a bit, but we also didn't really do much proper pairing with like Driver Navigator.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like Mike is back and Chima is here.
Yeah, go
Hello.
ahead. You guys were sorry I interrupted because I was just wondering. So
No worries. Yeah. So, uh, you are ready for the navigation camp? And
Yeah.
welcome, Shima. Okay.
I'm ready. Let's do it. But you'll share again, right?
Yes, I'm sharing again. Sorry. I thought I was sharing because of
I
last
decided
time.
to share while you were gone, but then we
Oh yeah, yeah,
talking.
yeah. Yep.
All right.
Let's go.
Require relative failed. Error cannot load such a file. And yeah, looking at the left, it's because we don't have a file called fizzbuzz.rb.
Okay.
So can you, I don't know, create, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, create fizzbuzz.rb. So I think the Ruby convention for file names, isn't it like with underscore? Oh, I don't remember. Is that correct?
Yeah, I probably should name it.
I think it's with
How do I? Let me just.
underscores. Let's check.
Okay, let me just do. And probably that means
Well, that's the class
I'll
name,
change.
not the file name. That's the class name, not the file name, right?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
But
the
we have
describe,
it. We have it in.
actually, that's just a name that will come up when we run the test.
Yeah,
It's
we have
important.
it in quotes. So
Yeah, it's the require relative that's referring to the file, right?
oh yeah, sorry. Yep.
Well, let's
Run the test again.
again.
No failures.
All right, so let's write our first test in the fizzbuzz spec RB.
Mm-hmm.
So now we need to, I think, load the class, and we had two ways of doing it. We had the before do, and we had the let's. And I haven't memorized the syntax yet, so look it up.
So why are we loading the class or?
Well, that's what we did with Thomas. Actually, I don't know if we need to, actually. I don't think we need to. You're right. So let's just write our first test statement and see if it works.
Okay.
So it was something like it and then a string.
Okay.
And in a string, we would say something like expects it. Oh, no, it is expecting, and then an input to return something. So we're doing fizzbuzz. We're going to start with like the first number. So let's say it's expected to return 1 given the input 1 or given 1. And I think it's expects brackets. And now I'm doing from memory. I mean, we had a method that we ran to execute in our fizzbuzz class. We called it play. So we're expecting play, the method play. So play with brackets and parameter, in this case 1. So play bracket 1. So we expect running that dot to space eq for equal, and then 1, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, let's try that. From my memory, I think.
Do I run the test?
Yeah, run the test, please. I mean, we're mobbing today, right? Not pair programming. So actually, if Pedro or Anya, if they see something that I did wrong or something, you can also chime in, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, with Ruby, I'm like, I guess not
Same,
sure.
but it sounds good.
I know Ruby, but I'm not used to the testing syntax.
Yeah, we could do JavaScript as well. whatever everyone is comfortable with.
I
But
think you guys,
I think you missed a step because you didn't declare. You're supposed to first of all create that instance variable.
To
Um,
load the class, right?
yeah, exactly. The fizzbuzz.new should be because that play method, right,
So
is like yeah. Go on, please.
We said we'd try it once without.
Okay, okay, okay.
What were you gonna say, Mike?
yeah, yeah I was just going to ask what you as the navigator thought we should do. Were you thinking we should create a class and call the method of
Well,
the class,
I actually
or
wanted to try
just
it without the class first because I thought it might work. And
okay?
what I'd like you to do is in the expect statement before the play
Yeah,
method, can you write subject.play?
and to say subject, but we
So
haven't declared a subject. Subject
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
well,
that
this.
I was reading up on it a bit, and it's
Yeah.
something that RSpec like gives with Ruby Magic.
so can I chime in?
Yeah, please.
So basically, the subject will be the instant of the theme you wanna test, right? So I just joined in, so I'm not very clear on this, but basically you have a class called, let me see, I'm looking at the slide. So you have a class called FaceBus, right? And that class has instant method called play. So your subject will be FaceBus, right? The instant of that class, that will be your subject. So you have to, outside of the it statement, you have to declare your subject. So if you, like on line 5, put an enter and do subject. Your subject will be, um, I'm typing this buff.new. So
yeah.
once you have that, then you can reference subject.play. Does that
Mm-hmm.
make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so on line 5, before your it statement, you have to make a reference of
Do you have to make
that.
a do you have to make a before something, or just do you just write that?
No, no, that's another before, the before or after block is actually to before each test, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
want to do something else. In this case, we just want to test the method played, but you have to have a reference or your instant itself.
Mm-hmm.
In this case will be, you got to do, oh, that's the thing. Yeah. So
So
I'm not
Mike,
sure if I'm,
sorry, Mike, are you gonna type that? What Carmen was navigating?
Yeah, I think maybe she just tells
Or were
me
you?
what to do.
Yeah,
In the
she
chat,
said so earlier.
in the
Okay,
Oh
in the
yeah,
chat.
in
or should we read it out actually?
Okay. So okay, but this case now we are decided to be using a class. We are not going to be just using like a how do I call it? Uh, a file with methods, right? With functions.
Well,
We just have to,
play is our
yeah,
method.
go ahead.
Play is our method. Subject is referring to our class, and then it's
So
calling the method play.
but play is a method within the fizzbuzz class, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then.
And can you put a space after the subject line? I just read on the convention that that's like, yeah.
Okay.
Then we can run that test and see our first test
Yeah,
turn red, I hope.
actually it will be Ember.
Ah, we've got our expert, Mike. So what happens if you guess the wrong thing, actually? on the left where you predict.
Yeah, it tells you here, like when your red was correct, it gives you a tick. When your green was, like, it shows you how you went here.
Okay.
So it's just like I think in TDD there's this um, there's this culture that you want to say what you expect your test to do before you run your test. For instance, if you expect it to fail because you don't have the FizzBuzz class, you need to like predict that, and that actually just shows like you have an understanding of the test that you write versus the code that you have implemented to make them pass. So yeah. So right now we in the output we've had 3 reds, 2 oranges. Oh, is this yellow? And 2 these. And now
Okay.
predictions we've missed 2 and we've gotten 4. Yeah. And
Yeah, you're right. Cyber Dojo writes amber, but it looks more yellow.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I've been navigating for so long. Maybe someone else. I've been driving for so long. Maybe someone else can take over.
So I believe I don't. You had that list earlier. So who
Yeah.
does it change to?
It goes to Enya. So I'll just navigate, and Enya will drive. Yeah. So when you do like a more programming kind of way, normally it takes long to get things done, but in the end I think many people in the team will be engaged um, and probably it's better for everyone, but it's slow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll probably
Yeah, I was
stop
tempted to
sharing.
just look at the
Enya,
PDF,
maybe you.
but I thought it's better like this, go from memory and with the syntax.
Mhm. And also, one thing is that when the navigator does not know what to do, they can always ask the mob. Probably just ask for an opinion from the mob, like, what do you guys think we should do next? And then someone will come in and help. Yeah.
How's it going, Anya?
Sorry, I was actually discussing with Crusader to present the project in 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. So it was supposed to. Can anyone take on my turn because I'm a little bit. We're still like discussing.
Okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pedro left and Pedro is back. Carmen, you want to like Carmen or Pedro? Anyone wants to drive?
Pedro
Or...
is bad.
So
Pedro,
who's next? Yeah,
you. Yeah.
I'm next. All right, I'll share my
Yes.
screen.
Yeah.
Or
Okay. Yeah, sure.
all right then. Should be this one. Right. Do I need to refresh the page?
Yes, you need to refresh the page.
All right. So we've just written our first test, right? Over here.
Yeah.
How do we test again? We click on one of the predictions or just test, right?
Yeah, you just click on one of the predictions and
Right, test.
yeah.
And these are the failures. Okay, initialized constant fizzbuzz. All right, that's because our fizzbuzz is empty. But who's the navigator? I should be just writing
Uh,
down, right?
yeah. I don't know. Carmen, you want to navigate? I've been speaking so much. Carmen.
Yeah, sorry, I'm here. I was mute by I was talking, but I was mute.
Okay.
So I'm
Sure.
actually very new on this new platform. First time I'm seeing, so I'm trying to
Likewise.
yeah, I'm trying to set up my my screen and my browser to share. So
You do you need to share? I think Pedro is sharing, and
oh, okay.
you
If I don't
can
need to share, yeah.
you can just
So
navigate
Yeah.
him. That's
okay, gotcha.
Basically, you tell me what to
So
do.
okay, so
the
basically,
ideal setup.
where are we? So
Yeah, we can always start
Right.
by run the test. We see what's happening.
so if we run, how do we run the test? Just Ember, or how do I run this test?
So I just clicked test over here. I believe if I click predict and click on any of the colors, it will run. It's just, you believe it's going to be red, amber, or green, but it'll just give you the answer for the tests. Basically a guessing game.
Okay.
So sorry, guys. If I
So
understood
it's
correctly,
telling you there.
Pedro is driving and Carmen is navigating, right? So Carmen, you just tell Pedro what to do.
Oh, okay. See, that's.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have power. Just kidding.
Enjoy
so,
it.
yeah, mientras dure. Okay, so basically, if you go bad, it's so the output is actually telling you what's the error, right? It's telling you that we don't have access to that class. So initialize constant. So we have to require the file fizzbuzz. Is it there? Oh, it is there.
So I'll chime in. It says
Oh,
an
okay,
initialize
here.
class.
It
So
says
we
an
need to
initialize class.
initialize.
Exactly. So now we have to create the class. So the first one is class. And so the Ruby convention is basically, if you do have like an underscore, that means that it's, I think it's called, what is it called in JavaScript? Sorry.
Camel case?
Camel case. There you go. Thank you. This is when I'm switching languages. So I was speaking in Spanish. So now I came back to English. I was like,
Like
oh.
this? Or like this?
Like that. No,
Upper camel case?
upper, yes, like that.
Got it.
So yeah, so then enter, and then it has to say end.
And
Mhm.
oh, and I got it.
And yeah, so then you have to define the class. So you do def initialize. And so in that, basically you initialize your class.
I think probably he should have just run the test and.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry, I'm going to. Thank you. Maybe you should navigate. Yeah.
No, we need to practice. And I also forget that it's like at the beginning, do the minimum to get the test passing.
Yeah. So now it's telling you something else, right? So we have access to the class, I mean to the instance class now. So now it's telling you that you're missing that method, right? The method play.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
So it's basically like a baby step now just telling you, hey, you forget to
Step by
pass,
step, right?
Yeah, step by step, baby step.
Would you rather that I just type where I think it's correct, or just you tell me what to type?
Oh no, actually use your instant, I think I think you should type
Alright.
what you think.
Alright.
Yeah.
So I don't quite remember the syntax, but I'm gonna go with I believe would be something and then this. All right.
There you go.
Nice.
So
Okay,
basically,
and we
with
have passing test. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, with RSped, there have many different parts of that. But what we're learning today, right now, is like with subject is actually referencing to the class, right? So that's basically what it is. And then from there on, you can use subject in every single if statement or block or describe or context, basically.
If I remember correctly, I believe Carl showed us something like put fizzbuzz over here and cut this part off.
Yep.
And fizzbuzz would automatically be the subject.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's another way. But if
test.
you were to,
But I also just came across that, so I wasn't sure on the syntax. I like tried it out for the first time.
if
Still
you were
passing.
to, if you are in like a Ruby on Rails project, you'll like to use subject in that
Correct.
case. It's kind of more like convention.
And then I'll just do fizzbuzz over here. So, yep. I would say let's write the next test, right? And I would copy and paste this one. We give it another number, and I'm just mimicking what we did in the last lesson.
Mhm.
And I would expect this one to pass as well. All right.
Yeah. So another thing is that you should only write a test if you think it's going to fail. A test that passes actually adds no
value. Okay. So I'm gonna say then it's gonna return fizz given 3.
I have one question, Mike. When
Yeah.
we run the test now,
Yeah.
it was 4 examples. Do you know why?
We have another file, hiker spec.
Okay.
We can delete those. Yeah. You can delete by clicking the minus. Yes. Yeah. Should be 2 now.
Yeah, 2 examples. Right, but now I changed the test to specify another behavior of the function. So the test is failing, so I should write the code to make it pass.
Yeah.
As such, I'm gonna say if number modulus 3 equals 0, I'm gonna return fizz. Otherwise, I don't know if this is how you do it, and then I need to end it, I believe. But
Yep.
there are no 2 dots. I'm used to Python, but there's nothing like that, right?
No 2 dots.
Yeah, there's no colon then at the end in Ruby.
What is mobbing actually?
Like what we are doing right now.
It's basically
Yeah.
multiple people
Ah,
screaming at the code, but it did not enjoy what I wrote. I'm gonna write it again. I got desynced.
iFood was only saying that you had to refresh because
Yeah, I
there are multiple
refreshed and it
people to-
erased the code I wrote.
I think after
No.
this
Yeah.
test is passing, we should change roles again.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's passing.
Yes. so it's a good time to move on. What do you guys think?
Let's do it. Who's next?
Yeah.
Annie, you're still discussing with
The project.
Crusader? Yeah.
Well, actually, we really wanted to start in 3 minutes, so maybe, yeah.
Oh, so we have time for one more test. We're on a roll now. We got it working. We got it running.
Yeah.
Let's do one more.
Who wants to share the screen? I'll navigate, if that's okay.
Mike, you've got.
Carl, you're gonna share your
Yeah,
screen?
okay, I can. Just give me a moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry about the flashing at the top. I can't do anything about that. I got to refresh the page by the looks of it. Sorry, Google Meet makes my computer struggle a bit. Well, all right. I'm the driver, right? So go ahead, Pedro.
All right.
Tell me what to
So
do.
what do we want now is to specify another test, specify the behavior out of the function. So I would go to spec. And I would want to test the behavior of buzz, and that is to copy this test and say is expected to return buzz given 5.
It's a bit in the browser. All right. It's expected to return buzz given 5. So expect subject of play 5 to equal buzz. All right. Should I?
Sounds
run the
good.
test?
Test it.
Yep.
Break it.
I forgot to put a prediction. We'll get into this. All right, fails. Is expected to return buzz. Expected buzz got 5.
All right. That's because we haven't implemented it yet. So let's go into the fizzbuzz.rb. And now I would create another condition after the first if and check if the number modulus 5 has no remainder and return buzz if it doesn't.
Or if the number modulus 5 has no remainder, then we want to return buzz.
Correct.
So I'll predict. Oh.
No, it's a
okay,
green.
slow.
So when you predict here, what are we actually doing? Again, I'm very new to this.
You're just
So
You have
saying,
to-
you're just
so-
guessing on what the if the tests are going to pass or not, or if it's going to break completely, and that would be Amber, I believe.
And on the right, I don't use my
Oh,
mouse, but on the right, it keeps score of your predictions, I believe.
It's just a
this is super cool.
gamification thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, I
cool.
like it. It's neat.
So Anya, I guess it's time for presenting our project.
Yes, actually, perfect timing. Crusader is just coming. Crusader, join in and right away. Perfect. Okay, so he will be joining the Google Meet right away. Perfect. Yeah, so just to start a little bit, so we had been talking about the fact that we were interested in blockchain, but then we thought about, like let's say an actual, wait, here we go, an actual project would be better. My camera thing is broken. Sorry, guys. Can't show myself anymore. It doesn't want me to. Yeah, and so Crusader actually got in touch with a charity project he knew was interested in implementation on blockchain in the first place, and they referred him to a project about citizenship participation for the city of Cologne in Germany. And Crusader, I think he's gonna make it into, and it's better if it, yeah, perfect. So I switch it over. You go ahead and tell the story.
Didn't want to join with wrong settings, so took me a while. Say what?
Go ahead and present the project. Say hi to everyone and
Hello.
I thought you present the project. I thought I'm helping you. Okay, guys. This is very spontaneous. Let me share my screen. Actually, let's share my entire screen. Let's make this quick and easy. So, long story short. Oh my God, I have too many tabs. So I have a proposition for you, and I basically reached out to a friend who knows a friend, and I said, hey, look, I have this charity. Do you know anybody who does something meaningful, preferably used live? And then he connected me with another friend that is doing a citizen participation project, which looks like this. So the use case is basically the city of Cologne in Germany. You know, the administrations always try to include citizens that they can help form and transform and basically participate to decide and throw around ideas of what's going on in a city. And for example, here he's basically suggesting that a certain road is only accessible by bike, and then people can vote on that here with the hand. This is the basic thing, and I talked to him. He's a really cool guy, and he also would be able to join us 2 days a week, where we have him for questions. So we would basically start working on this legacy system and progress it further.
just
And
I just wanted to add in that that guy is kind of self-taught dev from what I understood. And
yeah,
so he built all of that
absolutely.
by himself, and that's why he's like a, from what I understood, he's the one only guy on the project, so the founder and creator of this. And he would be absolutely thrilled to you know to have well, maybe some, I guess, some improvement of the code, but some other features. And he's also definitely interested in the addition of the blockchain component.
Yeah, I mean, to give you a slight idea what level the code base would at be, and when I asked him if this code is open source, he said like, ooh, not yet, because he has all the credentials to database access and that kind of stuff hard coded in the code base. So that is why the code is not open source yet. So I think we can do a lot of optimization, just formalities in regards of security, that kind of stuff. And I think when we have the basics sorted out, we could define certain milestones, like where basically I, as a product owner, say, look, I don't care about tests. They don't bring anything. And then you, as the devs, could try to convince me why tests are valuable. Or we could start hosting that thing on Akash, a decentralized blockchain project, or we could try to implement the voting system blockchain based. I think there are several milestones we could define. I'll work on that with Anya and preferably with you guys. If you have any ideas, we
So
define some milestones. I do some stories. We basically jump into Scrum and basically give them all that typical development environment. I assume you have already planned something like this anyway. And I think from here on out, I guess it's most valuable if you have any questions about this.
Carmen is asking what the tech stack is.
As far as I know, it's React, Firebase, Node, or Express Express. I think it was Express. I'm not perfectly sure, but I have access to the. I think I gave you access as well, Anya, to the repository.
Did you?
Yeah. So please tell me if I'm wrong, but that's how I remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing any email. So
Yeah, I think it was React, Express, and Firebase.
uh, I'm just checking, but yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing any emails. So
I'd have a
what?
question in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carl.
Is it Crusader? Is it definitely working on the legacy code, or could it be that we kind of create a redesign that will then replace the legacy code?
But both is possible. I
Okay.
mean, we should define milestones, and it would be ideally great to whatever work we do to reiterate. Thomas, could you mute yourself? There's a lot of background noise from your end, I think. Thank you, buddy. All good. Yeah, so open to everything. I guess it's just we should keep in mind that whenever I think at the beginning of September we want to have some presentable outcome, so that whatever we do, if we decide to throw away the legacy code and redo it, that we kind of bring the project forward and have not redone a part of the project with less functionality, because then we will basically give back to the guy a technology that he doesn't understand, is overwhelmed with and worked with, and it will just go somewhere in the shelf and nobody will use it. So from a practical reason, and I think that's something I as a product owner have to look at, is if we redo stuff, we have to think about how we can reintegrate it.
Hi guys, I was a little bit late to the party, so I might have missed something. But in terms of so the tech stack is one thing, of course. Some practical things. This is really a practical question. I see that the UI is in German. Since I don't speak German, is there a way is it possible for us to work with an English version of the software and then kind of translate or do multi-language solutions or something like that?
I'm not sure if this will be a problem. It depends, I guess, how hard-coded the language is in the source code. But I would say one of the first major milestones that we should do is add a localization. So we get away from the. I mean, obviously the code will be in English, and then in the end, it's just all that stuff is in the database, and those things here on the left. So I think whatever German we will come across with should be to a minimal, and if it's like suboptimally implemented in the code base, adding a localization to it would be a big winning, because in my end
Right.
vision
No,
is
but
to bring this.
so
Yeah.
whether it's Node or React or whatever is used in the backend front end, we can definitely use i18n to add localization. And thankfully we have quite a few German speaking devs here, so that can help us unenlightened people to understand the UI. So that would be great. Awesome. Good stuff. In regard of open sourcing this thing, I understand that it's not open sourced at the moment for many reasons. I understand that and I respect that. But do you know if the original developer is willing to open source it for a long run? And the reason I'm asking is that generally speaking, nothing is set in stone, but generally speaking, the things that we do as community projects in Agile Ventures should be
Yes.
open sourced.
Open source. He wants it. He just hasn't done it because he already has that awareness. If he puts it open source now, somebody could just log into his database and dump all the data that is in. So
yeah. I totally understand. So one of the first features would be to put the existing code, unless we really make a decision to do a complete rewrite, which just instinctively I would advise against. It's better for us to continue to develop this thing. One of the first thing would be to put it in a open sourceable state, which means that we extract all the credentials and database access from the source code and extract and put it into modules or credential files, so we can abstract away from that. Yeah.
Exactly my thought as well. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Is this site live at the moment? Like live?
This is the live site. I can send you the link. You can work with it.
Yeah,
yes.
if you send it in Anya's chat, that would be awesome. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I guess I guess like it's already quite nice the way it's done, but like just to give a little bit of an idea of the mid to long term vision one could have with this is basically adding some cool like let's say democratic features with the blockchain. That's what we were saying. So Chris mentioned Akash. So Akash is a decentralized cloud that we've been looking on that is on the Cosmos ecosystem. And it's one of those Cosmos communities that is actually really generous, or that I've seen being really generous and quite awesome. So if we were to deploy this on Akash, actually, I've seen even a YouTuber saying that if you deploy using his tutorial or something, he will repay you in Akash for the cost of the deployment or something. So, I mean, you have this, and then the idea to maybe put the voting system and comments on Cosmos blockchain with the idea in the long term that people who would be in favor, for instance, of a project in the city, let's say you want I don't know, a really nice park next to your house, and there's this and that missing, and you want to vote for that, but in the long term you would be even able to maybe add anonymously some funds to the project that would be locked in the blockchain, and the let's say the city administration could look at some projects and already find out whether potentially part or even all the project would be already funded willingly by citizens because they want to see it happen. And if they accept the project, they would get the funds in order to make the project, and if they would refuse the project, the funds would be automatically going back to the people who voted. So that's kind of the long-term vision, with the idea that this thing could be just a model that could be deployed by other cities and throughout Europe in the long term. So it's just like a very like kind of long-term vision, but just for you to understand where this is headed. Crusader, anything to add, maybe?
I mean, I think not really, because I'm so sorry. I would have loved to dig a bit more into that, and actually would have competently answered the question of Carmen, what tech stack this is, but I'm so suffocating in real life and other to-dos at the moment that I'm just running around and doing thing on a need to do basis. So I really have nothing to add. I think this is a very short-term thing that the universe basically threw at us if we want something with a real-world impact, and that is what we could do. And I think this is well in the scope where we can extract some easy low-hanging fruit tickets that we can throw at the new guys and say, okay, make this happen, make that happen, we can do this, we can do that. And those of you who want to dig a bit deeper and get your dance dirty on blockchain are gonna be thrown towards me, and I'm gonna basically try to guide you through the whole blockchain stuff to either make the voting happen or the donation thing happen, or whatever we want to do on that end, or the deployment on Akash or something like that.
Right. So from my perspective, again, I was a little bit late to the presentation, but There are quite a few things that I like with this idea. And first of all, thank you, Anya, and thank you, Crusader, to bring this to the team. I think it's a fantastic idea. And to the dev team, here's the thing, the way I look at it, it's legacy, which means there's a lot of code written, which means you get to practice working with legacy code, right? It's probably untested. We don't know that yet, which means that we can work with adding or covering the existing code base with tests. So there's a lot of to dos there. There's an idea to add blockchain based components or functionality to the whole thing, which gives us an opportunity to work with this technology. It's a project that is already running, which means that eventually, one way or another, we will see our code in production. And trust me, there's no other feeling that you want to experience as a new developer, to actually see your solutions going through the pipeline and eventually ending up on a live server. That's a fantastic thing, and that also enhances your CVs, because you automatically get bragging rights that goes with that. So that's also a good thing for me personally. And I just came up with those arguments on top of my head. We are checking off a lot of boxes that I think are very essential and crucial for us to work on something that is non-trivial and actually a real project. Um, Internationalization, of course, scalability, as Anya was mentioning, and also Crusaders, that there's nothing stopping this from being deployed to other cities or the markets. Um, Europe is one thing, but Carmen, I mean, this is definitely something that could be interesting for both North and South America, and we can definitely gain a lot of experience and a lot of practical skills working on this project. So unless I mean, the devil's in the details, as they say, but I think, as I said before, there's this one is checking a lot of boxes on my list, and I'm pretty excited about this. Great stuff. I would recommend that we, as a team, actually go for it and approach this in a very agile way, meaning that we split up everything into small features, small iterations, so that every developer, independently if you are new at this or more experienced, or if you only have a little time or a lot of time to spend on a project, can pick up a feature, work on it, submit a pull request, and then get it merged after a peer review and so on. And then we can accommodate everyone on the team. So yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, I'm very excited as well because I was definitely I mean this just came, but I was definitely looking for a real project. I of course prefer it if it adds positive value to society and has some blockchain component because I guess you've understood that. um, yeah, and but definitely working in a team is something that I'm lacking. So like finding a way, especially I guess Thomas, since we're both streaming and have like small communities building up, I guess the ability to cut tasks into smaller bits and parts that people who want to learn or who want to do stuff but maybe don't have like so much time here and there can help build something quite substantial. It's an ability I want to build because I really hope that I can leverage the high motivation of some people coming on stream that also want to learn and actually need a real project, just like you're doing with Agile Ventures. Like if we can harness that towards like projects that add value to society, then I think we're doing an awesome job here. So yeah, that's my view on that.
And for those of you guys who are new at Agile Ventures, is also this agile way of working. Like when we set out to build the long running projects that we have at Agile Ventures, whether it's local support, which is a one project, or the one that is called Codename Website One, which is the project that powers our own website. If you look at the stats for that project, you can see that there's been like over 130, 40 people involved in this development over all the years. And it was only possible by this approach that break everything down into small pieces, have a good tracker. We used Pivotal Tracker, we've used Waffle or Trello over the years. We changed them a few times, but somebody can come in, pick up a feature, work on it for a week or 2 weeks or something, submit. Waffle doesn't exist anymore, right? Submit that pull request, uh, and get it merged or get it reviewed, and with some requests for changes, fix those changes, get it merged, and off he goes or off she goes to whatever they're doing in life, and come back in 6 months or 12 months. So we're not dependent on having the same development team all the time. Do you understand? It's like people can come and go. And again, as I mentioned, some of you guys will have a lot of time on your hands, some of you will not, and by following the agile approach, we can accommodate everyone. And again, having a project that is live, that is supposed, really go to production, it's an awesome thing, and doing good, and making a contribution to the society overall and the community of Agile Ventures in particular is just great. So again, I would buy you guys a beer if I could, but I would just, extend my thanks to you and Crusader Anya. So and the universe spoke to us by, having you guys stumble over this and then being able to present this. Timing is good. I would say let's go for it.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
And vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys. I mean, this is also a small dream coming true for me to have a dev team and kind of digging into this whole product owner, system architect, orchestrating things a bit more. So I have a very long and deep dev background, but I've always enjoyed the let's say more high level stuff. So this is also for me very cool, and I also think this project stumbled with me and things just went. I contacted the guy the next day. I got the contact details from his friend. We talked about it. He was clicking. He was loving the idea and was even a bit too much humbled, where he said like, "Yeah, you're gonna hate my code. It's so unstructured. It's complete chaos." But
We hate all code, so that's okay. We have a love-hate relationship with code, usually. So
don't we all? Yeah.
exactly. Don't worry about telling that. Don't worry about code quality. We will fix that one way or another. Everything starts somewhere, exactly as Biglinda says.
I just have a quick note for anyone who's interested in blockchain. Crusader is very, very knowledgeable about the topic and does some research. So any technical questions, just shoot. He's always happy to answer, and he knows his way really, really deep around it. So
Cool. I know I have a long list of questions, but I don't want to do it today. But yeah, I will pick your brain at some point, Crusader. Absolutely.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
All right. Make sure that the next step would be that we bring on the guy that wrote the original code. We need to select a few developers initially that can make this core code open sourceable, right? I don't think that's even a word, but I think we all understand what I mean. Let's see if we can put this in a good state so we can release the code base to everybody else, basically, right? And we need to set up a staging server, which means that we need to deploy this to a server that doesn't hold real data, but rather some sort of dummy data that we can work with, and have some sort of an inception meeting where we start to go over existing features and also desirable features. What are we looking for, so we can hammer things out. And next week around, on the curriculum, we're going to talk more about version control. That's one thing, but also this agile methodology of defining or describing features using user stories and estimation and acceptance criteria, right? So if we can make this happen as soon as possible, then we can use this project as an example when we talk about user stories, for instance, right? So that's, I think the timing is good on that one as well.
Sounds amazing. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and I
I
guess
gave
I'll.
I
Oh,
gave the guys, sorry to cut you off. I gave the guys an introduction to agile methodologies, but there's so much more, right? The talk that we had about agile was an introductory talk. We're going to talk more about practicalities, and we're also going to cover another paradigm, which is the software craftsmanship approach, which I also think is relevant, and that we can get to practice in this project moving on. So. Sorry, Anya, you were saying.
No, I just wanted to say that I'm very motivated by the project, and as you know, I prefer to learn on a real project generally anyway. So I'll be using a lot of my streaming time also for the project, and then I guess anyone who wants to join in or whatever, yeah, I guess I'll be a constant or almost on that.
Cool, cool.
Maybe one thing to throw in as well, which comes back to the tech stack, because just because I read Ethereum, so I'm saying the thing that shall not be said. I don't really like Ethereum. I think it's just a transitional technology, and I would love to propose that we kind of lean towards the Cosmos stack when we do blockchain stuff. But if anybody has a very strong opinion about that, I'm of course always open for discussion and exchanging pros and cons.
I think
Because I think
I think it's all about just finding resources to learn about blockchain. It wasn't really about picking Ethereum.
Mhm. No, it's just I read it and I didn't say it
Yeah,
has
yeah.
context. I just thought, since we haven't covered the tech stack
Mm.
stuff of the
Yeah.
blockchain part, I wanted to throw that in.
I would say that this calls for another discussion, of course. We
Yes.
need to pick something that is accessible and learnable, and from my perspective also testable. But that's me. Um, let's keep that discussion open. Of course, I'm very excited by the Cosmos ecosystem and the ideas. So I'd love to learn more about that. Although I'm a beginner at the blockchain technology, as you guys know, but it's exciting. It's a brand new world that opens up. So the mix between traditional web technologies that this project apparently has already, and the mixing of blockchain, whatever stack we choose for that's what excites me about this. So I get to use both, all my skills on this, and the new one and the old one. So it's gonna be fucking amazing, guys. Pardon my French.
I
Or
think
not.
so too. I think so too. Yeah. It's
Great.
gonna be bananas in a positive sense.
Bananas.
So I got to spend time with my family. I had some wonderful barbecue, and now I get to work on a fantastic project. This evening couldn't get any better. It's amazing.
Awesome. I guess the next step anyways is that Crusader and I and the founder, we get in touch again and we get organized and start the process, I guess. Right?
Yep.
We have a meeting tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if the fella can move fast, then why don't we just try, in the best of worlds, to get him into a stream tomorrow, or our meeting tomorrow, and continue this discussion. I think that, if that is even possible, then we should definitely try to do that. What do you say?
I'll reach out and see if we can make it happen. Yeah. Awesome.
Good. Awesome. So I guess our hour and a half is up. Anya,
Yes.
you had to go at 2100 hours?
Exactly, because we have a friend over, so need to go for dinner.
The
Bon
barbecue
appetit,
is waiting.
and thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
I'm
Very excited.
glad I was able to join, at least for the last 30 minutes of this one. Awesome.
thank you
People,
guys.
digest all of this. I know there's a lot of info. I see you guys tomorrow at 5:30 UTC, and we continue this discussion. Basically, that's what's going to happen.
Awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys.
All right, man.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Have
you,
a good day.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Stay cool. Stay
Bye.
cool. See ya.